Attention Raid Shadow Legends, free-to-play and budget players, we've got a decision to make. What is up, Raiders of Teleria? My name is Charlie. This is New Raiders Only, and one of my favorite things in any game, especially Raid Shadow Legends, is the free stuff. And we're coming up on a nice little opportunity here on the reward calendar tab over here on the left. And that is the new Advent style reward calendar. Now, you log in every day, progress towards an awesome reward. You can earn all sorts of goodies along the way, so don't miss out. You cannot claim rewards on missed days except guaranteed rewards. Now, two things. First of all, there are a lot of rewards that are on this 25-day calendar, and you can miss them, so you want to make sure and log in every day like you do anyway for Raid Shadow Legends as a good free-to-play, as a good budget player does. And if you are logging in every day and collecting all the rewards, that's great. If you're not and you miss some, there are some guaranteed rewards, and that comes in the form of this individual right here. How much you actually get has been discussed to death already. We don't need to really touch on that too much. The point of this video, though, is the guaranteed reward on day 25, the one that you do not want to miss. And that is because you've been following along with New Raiders Only Charlie. You have a nice, tight stable of champions already. You got Uugo because you used my new player code in the description box down below. Probably the best epic support champion in the game. You got the epic support Tagoar, just bonkers good, team revive, shield, all of that. You got the Supreme Gallic or Alice or maybe Sun Wukong on the day one. I don't know why that takes so long to load. With the day one attack legendary promo code, you can also get Loki the Deceiver, but he's a support and good in his own right. But I like attack champions. I like the Supreme Gallic the most, and of course you get the Supreme Jarl here in a few levels after that. And then finally at level 50, you get the attack champion Chonoru. All of these free-to-play champions were handpicked by myself to make a good variety, a generally good team for most of the activities in the game, be it the campaign, the dungeons, faction wars, arena, claim bosses, Doom Tower, Curse City, and finally Siege, arena, etc., etc., etc. But what we have here on this reward calendar is 4 legendary relics. Okay, 4 really, really strong free legendary relics, and you might be a little bit in the weeds about which one is the most powerful, which one that you guys should vote for. I want to break them down from the worst that I think that you should vote on to the best that I think that you should vote on. And by far the worst is going to be the Axe Serpentis. All right, this seems like it's only really usable in the Hydra fights, and while it's important to have a good relic for Hydra fights, the stats, health, critical damage, attack, that's all well and good. That's nice, absolutely nice. But the stat line, the actual text, the fun stuff, right? The fun stuff on the relic seems to only work in the Hydra fight, and so to me, that makes this the 4th best out of all of them. Now, this relic is probably the coolest looking, the Gore Crescent. What an absolutely brutal name, Gore Crescent. Attack, critical damage, and speed. Now, you might see the speed and be like, oh, Charlie, you've been talking about speed a lot. Like, you've been talking about speed a lot in the last couple of videos. And yeah, I do agree speed is very important. The problem with this relic, though, the next attack after killing an enemy does 20% more damage. That means that your champion has to get a kill, and that's not impossible. I mean, that's how you win, right? That's the strategy to win, is you kill the opponents. You're not really getting anything until that champion gets a kill, and it might not happen immediately. It might not happen for a little bit. Plus 20% more damage is a lot, but it can be mitigated. It's not unmitigatable. It's not pure breaking through to the health damage here. So even if it's 20%, it might not be the full 20%. So that's why I kind of have this in 3rd, but that's a really, really close tie for 2nd with the Temporal Stagnator. I think that this is probably the 2nd best of all of the relics. The stats are really good. Again, you got speed, accuracy. You love to see accuracy. The resilience, always good to have. And what I specifically like about the Temporal Stagnator is it's really good for void champions because it says wearer has a 20% chance to remove steal or convert buffs or increase a skill's cooldown when landing a weak hit. So has to do with the affinity system. Void champions don't natively have a strong affinity or a weak affinity, like the other Magic Spirit and whatever champions do. So that's why I like this in second. If you don't have a good relic for your Void Legendary, the Supreme Gallic, or maybe you chose somebody else, Arbiter is another good opportunity there. That's another Void Legendary, right? I think, pretty sure. Then the speed and accuracy could be good for that as well. But the number one, in my opinion, and many people's opinions, I think, as you can see here, 64%. And by the way, it kind of lines up here, although I don't agree with the Gore Crescent. What a gorgeous name, Gore Crescent. That is so nice. So 25% chance to reflect, stun, sleep, fear, true fear, freeze, provoke, petrification, and the sheep and polymorph debuffs back at the attacker. It could be huge. The health, speed, and accuracy buffs, the baseline stats are good. The text on the legendary relic here are also good. And the fact that this can work on basically every single champion, whenever it comes to late game in Raid Shadow Legends, you're talking about a lot of things, right? You're talking about a lot of activities. Let's see. As I mentioned earlier, you're talking about, farming the dungeons, your Doom Tower. You're talking about the Hydra. You're talking about a lot of things when it comes to the in-game of Raid Shadow Legends. But the thing that is the most competitive is the arena, okay? The arena, live arena, whatever. The player versus player is always, always, always going to end up being the most competitive aspect of any game like this. And having this item could randomly win you a fight, okay? You can argue all day long about the most efficient Dragon's Lair team of champions. And the argument is about speed, right? The number of turns it takes, all of that. But regardless, once you have a power level and a good handful of options, you're going to get to that point that you can clear the Dragon's Lair no trouble. And the same argument's going to be had with the Hydra, with the Fire Knight, with all of the late game player versus environment stuff. Once you get to that power level with a handful of champions, you're going to be able to clear it no problem. But what varies is who you're going to be going up against in PvP. Now obviously I'm still at a lower level here. Obviously I'm still at a lower level here, so I'm facing all kinds. Looks like I'm in, Bronze 2? Is that where I am? Bronze 2? Yeah, I got a long way to go until I'm getting to that point there. I'm really facing the really high-tier player base. Obviously that's going to come in there eventually. I need to be grinding this out a little bit more. I need to be getting into gold as quickly as possible so that I can level up my affinities. Live arena, tag team arena, all of those, it's going to be variance. You're not going to always fight the same 3 to 5. You're not always going to fight the same 4 champions, and having some kind of random effect. And a lot of teams really focus on stun locking and other crowd control abilities. Fear. I think that the sheep buff is a lot of fun, actually, or the debuff, I suppose, however you want to call it. And then the base stats on this thing is just outstanding. What more can you ask for? Speed and accuracy, health. Yeah, why not? Why not a little bit more health? So I think this is all pretty straightforward, but to me, it took me a little bit of thinking about which ones that I would rather have the most. And the fact that it's absolutely free, it's the one that you want. This is the one that you want. This is the one that you want. And this is the ones that the other players don't want you to have, right? This is far and away the best choice. So let me know in the comment section down below how your free-to-play team is coming along. And if you have this opportunity, or maybe you're watching this video in the future and you missed out, that's a bummer. But if you have this opportunity, which one did you vote for? 100% we're voting for the Wand of Submission. Yep. Can't wait to get it. Can't wait. Hope it wins. Because on day 25, on May 4th, I'm going to get it. I love you all. Good luck in Teleria.